Okay, hello guys, this is Ossi, and today I will show you how to create a console application in C Sharp actually. And today I'm recording with OBS, Open Broadcaster Software. I normally use it for broadcasting to twitch.tv, but today I'm actually trying out to record instead. There are black bars at the top and the bottom. That is because Windows taskbar and stuff like that. But anyway, I don't know what I'll do. I'll leave them there. It doesn't really matter. But in wow, in Microsoft Visual C Sharp 2010 Express, that's what I'm using. You can't see it up here because that bar is removed. But basically, you can download that and Google it. It's very simple. So you could pause the video. It's Microsoft Visual C Sharp 2010 Express. That's what I use. Okay, so once you got that installed, go to Visual C Sharp here. First go to File and then New Project. And then you go right here, you press Visual C Sharp, and then you press a console application. Then I want to name my the name for the application. I'll set project. Let's just have project, right? Hit OK or enter. Now, as you can see, this will probably look different from yours because you won't have this dark gray background and these different colors on these. There will be the colors, but not the same colors probably. That's because I use a color scheme, and you can Google how to use that. And yeah, I really like to have it like this. It's more night friendly, so when you code at night it isn't as sharp on the eyes as the white background is. I like this way more. So let's go through some basic syntax, or just basic. I name my project as you can see up here, or my program project. The class is called program. And as you can see here, namespace project. Now what namespace is it specifies this class to be specifically in the project directory, I guess. So it is just more specified. You can Google that and get a better explanation on that. Up here we can see some using. We can see using system dot and a lot of thing there. Now we will only be using system, but if you want you could leave that all in there, which I will now, but we will probably only use this up here in this lesson or in this series. So here you can see it opens up the class program, which is the class that we're writing in now. You can see program.cs for C Sharp, and it generates a code called class program. In that it generates static void main string args. These brackets, curly brackets as they are called, they are basically on I don't know if it's the same on your keyboard, but on a Swedish keyboard they are on. You have to hold Alt GR and the 7 and the 0 button. That will create your curly brackets. And they are basically, so this class is opening, like everything inside of these brackets are in the class program, everything inside of these brackets are in static void main. So basically it's used to define what is in that method, I guess, so that class. So that's basically it. They are also used in if statements. So let's say if sun equals yellow, and then you can see you add these, and I'm used to more Java, so I type it after here, and I think JavaScript also type it like that, but auto corrects me to have it like this. I don't like the looks of it. You can change it, I think. I don't really want to, but anyway. So these curly brackets, they define something that is in that method, or an if statement or something like that. Also, this doesn't really have to do with C Sharp, more the program. If you press this minus button out here, this minimize, you can see it minimizes everything in namespace project, everything in the class, everything in this static void main. So it's really useful when you got big chunk of code and you just want to see some part of it and you don't want it to be all messy. Okay, so that's basically it. You can click this, and if you hold over here, this will give you a pop-up. I don't think it will show you in the recording, but it actually gives me a pop-up and it will show me everything that is inside of this namespace. Okay, so let's start coding, shall we? Let's create a hello world program. How do we do that, you say? Well, you type console, because we want to print it out to a console. In this case, we're building a console program, so it prints it out to the console there. Console write, because we want to write, and we want to write it on a line. Not a line like an underline, but you'll see. Right line, so we can end that parentheses here, and we add a semicolon to the end. Let's begin with the parentheses. So everything inside of these parentheses will be for right line. So let's say x plus y. Now we haven't defined what x and y is, but let's say you want to do something like that, or you can do yeah, stuff like that, or call a function. But in this case we want to print out a word, so let's put our quotation marks right here, because that is what we use for printing out a word basically, or a sentence. So let's type hello world. Oops, not another. So as you can see, it is inside of these quotation marks and it gives us no error. Why it's green out here is because we have saved that part. The yellow is unsaved. As you can see up here, there is a small I think it's called asterisk, but I'll call it star, and whenever it's unsaved, that asterisk will show up, or star. So press Ctrl S, or you can go up to File and Save. But I like to Ctrl S. It's just getting used to it, and then you can never use anything else. This takes way more time, going up here and then click Save. Basically, so now it's green out here, we have saved it. Good. Then why is there a semicolon? This is very important, because if we won't have it, let's see what happens. Okay, they get some error line there. Let's see if we can. I can't really see, it doesn't give me a pop-up, but it shows that there's an error. If we try to run it right now, it wouldn't work. So semicolon is basically used like a dot for a sentence. Let's type the sky is blue, and now it's but let's say this is a sentence, and you put a dot at the end to define the capitalization. Here is the beginning of the sentence, this is the end of the sentence basically. So I don't know if that was well explained. I probably lost a few of you, but anyway, the semicolon is basically saying here ends, or we're ending this line of code, or this part of the code right here. And the good thing with having a language that has a semicolon, or needs a semicolon at the end, instead of just having like that, I think Lua don't need a semicolon. I don't know if Lua, or maybe it's Python. Is it Python? I think it's Python. I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. But in Python, I just think you need to type, let's say, print, and then hello world, and that's it. So that wouldn't obviously work here, but you need a semicolon to define that. And the good thing with having a semicolon is you can write more code on the same line. So let's say hello Earth. So as you can see, I had the semicolon and it gives us no error. So it's all good to go, and that's really useful. So sometimes you want to keep it on one line just because it's kind of the same thing and you don't want to take up more lines. That is really useful. So now if we would run this program, you will see we run into a problem. A command window, or a CMD window, opens up and closes. That's not what we want to happen. What we want to happen is a CMD window, or a command window opens up and it says hello world. Now we couldn't read that, it goes way too quick, as you can see there. It just flashes the screen. So instead of pausing the video and reading it, we can't really do that now when we're coding. So what we do is console.readLine. We could also do read, which I prefer to use. Read line actually is not the same. Never mind. Just console read. Now what this will do is it will read, make it possible for us to read what's in the program. So it says hello world as we wanted to. It has a big W and a big H as we wanted to, and an exclamation point at the end. So that's perfect. That's exactly what we want. Now we can't really type anything right here. It won't actually change anything. If we press enter, this will close down just as we want to. Okay, so that's it for this video. Next video I'll be going over variables and how to